In today's video, we are going to begin talking about slope. At the end of this video, you should be able to identify the different types of slope. Slope is used to describe the steepness and direction of a line. The bigger the slope, the steeper the line. When you go skiing or go on a roller coaster, the bigger the slope, the more fun you have. Both skiers are going down a hill. Which skier is going to fall down the hill faster? Slope is also known as the rate of change, written as a fraction in simplest form. Using the graph to the side, we are going to determine the rate at which the rain fell. So looking at this graph, I'm going to use this point right here to tell me that it fell 2 centimeters per 1 hour. Right here. Slope is also referred to as M, or also known as. This is what we will be using later in the unit. Slope will be M, and that is also important for you to know that it's the rise, because we're going to write it as a fraction. It's the rise over the run, and this will make more sense later this week. But we also need to know, so it's rise over run, and it's the change. So this symbol right here is a Greek letter called delta, and it means change. The change in y, and don't worry, this will make more sense later this week, over the change in x. Today we're only focusing on identifying, but I want you to at least have somewhat of an idea of slope. So slope is always known as M, and it's the rise over run, or change of y over the change of x. So there are 4 types of slope. We have positive, which is also increasing. And notice how it moves up and to the right. Then we have negative, which is decreasing. It moves down and to the right. And then we also have 0, which means there's no change. Kind of like in science when you did no change in movement or speed. And then there's undefined, which doesn't make sense. It's like if you were to divide by, it is if you divide by 0, which you should never do. So undefined is a weird one. It doesn't work. Okay, so in your notes, I want you to sketch positive, negative, 0, and undefined slope. So just do a couple examples of each, just so you can see. You don't even have to draw a grid. You just need to draw lines that show positive, negative. They can be however you want, as long as they show negative. Okay, so for 0 slope, you would just have horizontal lines. And for undefined, you would have vertical lines in the orange. So this is to kind of relate it to real world. When you think of positive slope, you put money into your account each week. The amount of money is always going to increase. It's a positive slope. If you put money and take money out of your account each week, this is going to create a negative slope. You're always losing money. The amount of money is going to decrease. And then if you think about it in money and time, you don't move the money in your account. The money just stays there. You don't add it. That is 0 slope. There's no change. You're not spending it. You're not putting money in. No change. So increasing is positive, decreasing negative, and no change, 0. All right, and so if you were to think about undefined in terms of money and time, the situation doesn't make sense. It would mean that you have different amounts of money in your account all at the same time. We call that undefined slope. It's impossible for you to have at the very same moment in time multiple different amounts of money. Doesn't make sense.